Good morning and welcome to this first live YouTube looking at how we can really thrive as people working in the customer service industry, working from home, figuring out these new and strange times. I have to say it's a bit strange doing this thing where I'm just speaking and hoping people are listening, rather like being a parent, I think, where you talk and you kind of just hope that kids are listening, but you have no idea if they really are. Difficult times, strange times. And what I want to chat today about is this idea of what are the things we can do so that we can really thrive. So that what do we do so that we can bring our A game every day? And one of those things is a bit about how do we find routine. Things are kind of up in the air and all crazy at the moment. Maybe your desk space is gone. Maybe your kind of quietness and stillness is gone. I don't know if you hear in the background, mine's kind of gone to custard a little bit as my kids are making bread with their mum. Things just seem to be a bit all over. So how can we establish some helpful and healthy routines? And so there's some pointers today, just some simple tips. Number one is about establishing the routines, not at the start of the day, but actually at the end of the day. How can you make sure you're getting enough sleep? So scientists would say that you need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep in order to feel good the next day. But it's not just about feeling good. Actually, number one, when you go to bed on night time at a sensible time, it's telling your brain tomorrow's work. We are already saying to the brain, like, get ready, tomorrow's a work day. It might feel like a weekend. It might feel like it's not a school night, but tomorrow we need to be ready for work. So it says to the brain, let's get in that zone now. The second thing that's really helpful for is actually that as you sleep, new connections are made in your brain. And these new connections help to not only process short stuff for short-term memory, but then move it into long-term memory as well. So it's really helpful from that point of view, dealing with customers, dealing with teams, that sort of thing. It's brilliant for that. Another thing it does actually is it puts you in a better mood. There was some research carried out in November last year. No surprise said that actually couples who don't get enough sleep argue more. What are the odds of that? I think anyone who's been in that situation can attest to that being true. So there's that as well. But also it really helps to boost your creativity and your imagination and your problem solving. And what better time are we going to need? More innovators, more people who can think outside the box, more people who can figure out how we continue to do stuff in this slightly more weird and complicated and remote and separated way of being and doing. So get a good night's sleep, get a decent night's sleep down here. And then set an alarm for the next day and get a bit of a daytime routine where you can as well. Now, fit this around the other cadence of what's going on. I understand that probably like me, a lot of people will be juggling family stuff and maybe even a bit of homeschooling and trying to just get kids to shush, but they don't really care. So how do you do that? Well, some routines can be really helpful. And again, the human brain likes a bit of routine. I remember when I worked at Asda, I used to get into the office about 7 o'clock each morning. Some of that was so that I could, excuse the noise, some of that was so that I could get a car parking space. Some of that was also so that actually I could be at my desk for about 7, which just gave me half an hour headspace to just plan, like, what's today going to hold? What's it going to look like? What else is in? Then at 7:30, I'll go down for breakfast, bacon sandwich and a coffee every time. And then at 8 o'clock, ready to crack on with the day. And it's just helpful because the brain likes these routines. And every time we kind of set about another routine, the brain says, oh, this is familiar. I know where I am now. I'm not as stressed. I'm not trying to work stuff out. I can process this moment because the routine bit is taken care of. So that's the first thing. Get a good night's sleep. Go to bed at a sensible time. Tell the brain that tomorrow matters and tomorrow's work. Get a good night's kip. And then get some routine into your day. And when you get up, this is the next thing. Get dressed. So it might be that you're on Zoom calls and you just think, oh, well, okay, I'll just put on a shirt and, doesn't matter about the bottom half. I wonder how you would have felt if you're tuned in today and I was just sat here in dressing gown and pajamas, whether you would have really thought I was up for it. But again, it's a great way of telling the brain, I'm up for this. Today, it matters, it's working. So I've put on a shirt, I ironed a shirt. I've even got, you can't see them, I've even got shoes on as well, out of shot. So it matters that we do this stuff. So we get sleep, we get up, we get some routine, we get dressed. Another really easy thing to do that we can often skip as well is have a bit of food, have some decent food, eat regularly. So when we're not eating regularly, then what happens is sugar levels in our body go up and down and up and down. And then so what we do is quite often our mood will track that. The phrase that people know quite often now is hangry. because my mood is down because my sugar levels are low. And then, so what I do, well, I'll probably eat some white bread something or something high in sugar, and I'll spike again, and then it'll go crazy again. So how do we just make sure we're eating the right food? Just, healthy stuff as well as the treats. So that's part of that as well, I would suggest, is that you have the right foods, but also don't go big. I love a Sunday lunch, and after a Sunday lunch, I love a nap. And that's because my brain is still sending the signal that it sent when I was a little baby. So when I was a baby, and you might know this if you've had kids, you fill their belly, and then the brain says, now it's time for a nap, and off they go. And you still have that same signaling being sent as an adult. So don't overload, don't carb load during the day, because you will feel snoozy in the afternoon. So that's another thing to watch out for. But also, if your belly is full, then what happens is some of the blood that was going to your brain to help it kind of process, figure stuff out, is now actually going to your gut to help it digest. So you've just got a little bit less brain power. So sleep, routine, get dressed, have something to eat. And then the other thing is hydrate yourself. So, get some water down you. The brain is 70% water. So just a 2% reduction in your hydration levels actually means that you end up significantly decreased in your ability to concentrate, to stay awake, to figure stuff out, to solve problems. We lose brain power as we lose hydration. So make sure you keep yourself well hydrated throughout the day. And then the other thing I'd suggest is, if you can, then you get outside. If the sun's shining like it is here in Leeds, get outside, get some vitamin D, stretch your legs, maybe get up and do Joe Wicks, but whatever it is, just to get some endorphins flowing through your body. They make you feel good. So we do a little bit of that as well. None of these, I'm sure, are rocket science, and it might be things that you've done before, but just to bring them now to front and centre, so that you can really start to thrive, so that you can trick your brain, so that you can be ready to bring your A game for your customers. And that's what we want to talk about today. And we'll be back again next week, because we've got a bank holiday weekend in the middle. Whatever you'll be doing with that. But have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll be back next Wednesday. So stay safe, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.